Hello. Right. So I have just recently started doing tarot, learning tarot rather, and I haven't taken any classes or courses. I'd quite like to, but right now I'm just kind of playing with it and just going with what I feel. And I try and choose at least one card for me a day, and I also have oracle decks, which are slightly different than tarot. I've been using them for probably about a year. And it's interesting, then I see a lot of synchronicities and maybe something I'm dealing with or going through, or sometimes what's happening, well, actually, it's happening quite often, is because I tend not to, um, I tend to keep the card face down when I choose it. And there's been times where I've said what I think the card is, and I turn it over, and it is. Or most recently, what's happened is I put a card back in the deck, and actually I'm still gleaning some wisdom from it, or some message or lesson from it, and I'll ask my guides for that card to come back up, and it does. That's happened quite a few times recently. So it's very interesting how these synchronicities are happening. And I think I might have shared on a video, I don't know, the other day where I wanted a certain card and I didn't get it. And then I sat and thought about it for a bit, and I thought, well, actually, I'm still getting some wisdom from it. And so I just spread all the cards down, flat down, and then I held my hand over it to feel the energy of the card and asked my guides to pick the card, and it was the one I picked. So it's a synchronicity. You can call it coincidence, I don't care, but it is a synchronicity. Anyway, so today, when I started, before I start choosing a card, I like to clear my deck, and I'd like to tune into my higher self or my spirit guide to help me choose a card, what lesson I need to learn today. But even before I got started with it all, a card flew out, and as is my Virgo rising, I have this tendency to want to get it right, to know it, should I accept that card? Should I not accept that card? So I thought, well, I could email somebody or get in touch with somebody who does tarot properly and say, do I accept the card? Do I not accept the card? Is it a fluke it flew out? And I thought that my message, well, part of my message is that I need to start just going with my inner wisdom. What does my gut tell me? Should I accept it or not? And actually, I feel like if a card has flew out, even though I've not cleared the deck or anything, I need that card for today. And the card that flew out at me was the World, which I think is a really beautiful card. It's a major arcana, so it would be a major life event. And a lot of times our cards, although I intend just to do one a day because I'm still wanting to learn and getting used to what the meanings are, and kind of decipher the meanings. I know that sometimes the card becomes clearer if we choose other cards. So I thought I'll just do a 3 card spread today, which I would say is past, present, future. So because that was the first card I chose, or that flew out, I thought I will put that in the past. And so I, as usual, will look at the card and glean what I can glean from it. And because I still use resources a lot, it's interesting the message I got not just from what I got, but what I get is just a tiny, tiny snippet, but actually looking at other resources and getting the message there. But it's interesting because it's saying that in the past placement of this card, um, that I have a strong foundation in the past. It could be recent past, it could be my childhood past, but there is a strong foundation there that's going to help me in the present and in the future. So whatever I've been through, it could be a challenge, it could be whatever. I have a strong foundation. It's brought me to this point. And it actually really, really resonated with me. There was another bit that I read that really, let's see, uh, There are two important things to take from the card. The foundation upon which you currently stand is deeply rooted in the past sense of completion, and the moment of fulfillment has definitely passed, and you're wise to no longer live in the past. So that's another great message for me, because sometimes I find myself ruminating about stuff in the past because I can't, although I can't change anything, I find that something will come up, like an old conversation or an old disagreement or something that happened that was I felt was unfair to me. And I think, why am I thinking about this stuff? It's all in the past. I can't change it. So it's like a reminder to me that I need to quit thinking about the past. And interestingly enough, I shared something this morning that I've been out of kilter the last few days. And one of the things that came up was some past stuff. It was thinking about things that it's the shoulda, woulda, coulda. I should have done this. I could have done that. Well, it's all past. I can't change the past. And some days it does get me down because I think I'd like a do-over, because I see where, and again, we get wise as we get old. We look back and we think, oh, I should have changed that, or I should have done this instead of that. So it's almost like a reminder to say, you have a good foundation, but you have to move forward now. You can't keep thinking about what's happened in the past. That I'm deeply rooted in the past sense of completion, but that I need to now not live in the past. So that it was very good for me. And then the second card that I chose, which I would say was in my present position, was the Temperance. Whoops. The Temperance, which I think is a really beautiful card. Again, it's another major arcana, which means it's a major life event. So this one, what I got from the card, I actually gleaned quite a lot from it. She's well dressed. The way she's sitting to me tells me she stands in her sovereignty. She knows who she is. She's a very, I think, very strong character, very brave character, very beautiful character. Her wings are very ornate, and she's pouring water into a cup. And what I see from that is the fluidity of life. And the cup is full, which is showing me abundance. So life flows, life's abundant. And that sat in my present position. And actually, again, it really resonated with me. It's telling me to mind my reactions. So again, the last few days I've been feeling off kilter and getting annoyed with stuff. Like I said, from the past, things I can't change. It says to mind my reactions. Let whatever I do, think, or feel be appropriate and beneficial to whatever I'm facing. And it says not to overreact. My task now is to center myself and do whatever is necessary to establish balance in a situation. So that's a really good one for me, because while I think I'm navigating this time fairly well, there are still times that I can see that I overreact and that I need to learn to be more centered. What I see in my mind is me standing, and it's interesting because I had this dream, and I may have shared it here, I don't know. I had a dream that became clear as I was speaking it out. So I sometimes record my dreams on the voice recorder because I will revisit them and I get meaning from it. And in this dream, I was on a beach. I don't recognize where I was. So we'll say that. I was on a beach. It was nighttime, but I could see enough in front of me. And the water was very choppy and coming in. And just as a footnote, this dream happened within the last 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's not been very long ago. And it was quite choppy and it was pouring down rain, but it was the slanty rain where if you had an umbrella, it would be pointless. Windy, rainy, all this going on. And I was at the beach walking, just taking a walk. My walk was very peaceful. I wasn't in a hurry. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't feeling anything. I was inside. I was wearing a waterproof coat, and I had a hood over, and I was just taking a walk as if it was a beautiful sunny day. And I didn't understand the dream until I started speaking it in the voice recorder, and then I realized, aha, it means that whatever's going on, whatever chaos is going on, just to keep centered and just keep walking, because it's okay. Because inside my jacket, inside my waterproof, everything was calm. I was calm, I was fine. And I took that as an analogy of being inside my jacket, my waterproof. I was perfectly dry, I was fine, I was calm. I took that analogy as being the inside myself, the spiritual me, the inner me, and everything that was going on the outside was all the stuff that I can't control. So I can't control what happens to me. I can't control what other people do. I can't control the global situation or the climate or any of that other stuff. I can only just remain peaceful in myself. So that was interesting. And then it ties to me the temperance card that I got today, that it's a reminder again, whatever chaos or drama is going on, don't overreact. And this is a lesson for me to learn because, as I said, it's been quite a volatile, well, as we know, it's been quite a volatile year for many of us. So when I look at other resources and it talks about the temperance in the present position, um, it just it says pretty much the same thing about just remaining as calm and patient in face of any adversity, which is, as I say, a very good lesson to me. And then the third card I chose, or that came out, because they kind of fall out or pop out, was the Two of Swords. And this is a minor arcana, which means it's a minor life event. The two talks about balance. It could be decision. It could be companionship. Swords is related to the air signs, and it's related to the intellect, or it's the action. Um, it could be a challenge. It could be a good challenge, but also could be a very difficult challenge. Um, and this one, where I got from it, let's see what I gleaned from this. So what was interesting is when I looked up, and because I look at lots of resources, like I said, because I'm still learning to get a handle on what the cards mean. When I looked up the Two of Swords, it says the best card to see in your reading paired with the Two of Swords is Temperance. This card represents a mastery over your life and a conscious effort to avoid negatively impacting things around you. This sitting out process ensures that your words and ideas, my swords, the mental, are not attacking anyone. So that is a really good message for me. It's basically just saying again to weigh up everything before I act, to keep and basically keep the calm where the storm's going around, keep as calm as possible and speak from a place or act from a place of calmness as well. So I found that a really good card combination. Um, and it's interesting also because it's about finding more patience, which is a challenge for me because I will admit I'm not a very patient person. I'm more patient with other people and with nature. I'm patient with animals. I'm patient with nature. I'm patient with people generally. I'm very impatient with technology and inanimate objects. So, I would be the one in front of the microwave yelling, hurry up, hurry up. um, but I'm also very impatient with myself because because I expect a lot from myself. So this has been a really good one, a really good combination to draw. And Two of Swords, let's see, in the future talks about um, not to take too much time thinking about journeys, or if I'm at a crossroads, because if I spend too much time thinking about it, and this is something else for me, because I spend a lot of time thinking about what I have to do. I might have several tasks to do, projects that I want to do, and I do spend a lot of time thinking about it and trying to plan it out. And again, it goes back to my Virgo rising. I want it to be all perfect. I want it to be all aligned. I want everything to be just so. But sometimes you just have to jump in. And it's interesting also that recently I've had a couple of opportunities come my way, and I haven't responded to all of them. And I do think too much. I do think, well, do I really want to do that? How is that going to impact my life? And I think too much instead of just saying, do you know what? I'll give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. But I've experienced something, and I have to start letting go more and doing that. So it's been a really interesting um, reading for me, and it's nice to see the card combination, especially the Temperance and the Two of Swords. Anyway, that's my lesson for today of what I'm learning for myself. And I've spoken probably way too long. That's 15 minutes. I'm trying to keep these short. But I just wanted to share what I came up with today. I might occasionally do a tarot or a oracle card drawing. It would be nice to do it for for the world, just for what's the message today for everybody. But this one today was for myself, and I really love the card combinations and the lessons that are there for me. Thank you for listening wherever you are in the world, and have a wonderful and blessed day, and namaste.